Hello everybody, West Country Explorer here. Now this coming weekend, the 17th and 18th of September, I'm going to be doing a 2-day pilgrimage walk between Wareham and Shaftesbury along what's known as St Edward's Way. And obviously as I'm going along, I'm going to be recording, like putting the video together and all the rest. But for this particular video, I thought I'll talk a bit about the history of like who St Edward the Martyr was, about the walk, and kind of why I'm doing it. Now, back in 975 AD, King Edgar, he died. He was only about 32 years old at the time, and he had a couple of sons, obviously Edward, and also a younger son, Ethelred. Now, Edward, he was the oldest of the two sons, but Edgar didn't recognise him, didn't acknowledge him as a successful heir to the throne. He considered his younger son, Ethelred, who was the son of his then wife, his third wife, to be the successful heir to the throne. So, when Edgar died in 975, there was a bit of a dispute about who should sort of come to the throne, and there was sort of different camps. One saying it should be Edward, one saying it should be Ethelred, but it ended up being Edward that came to the throne in 975. And I mean, he was only about 12, 13 years old at the time, so quite a young, quite young, sort of just about teenage years, so like I said, still a child when he became a king. In 978, he went to Corfe Castle, Edward did. He went to meet up with his stepmom and his stepbrother. Like, stepmom obviously being his father's third wife, and stepbrother being Ethelred. So he went to meet them, and he was killed, basically. There's no sort of conclusive way of knowing exactly what happened. There's no documentation to prove who did it. Some people suggest it might have been his stepmother who killed him in order to make way for her son Alfred to become king, but no, nothing. There's no conclusive way of knowing exactly what happened. Suffice to say, he died in questionable circumstances at Corfe Castle, and he was hastily buried at nearby Wareham. So, no official burial, just like a very, very hasty burial. And then a year later, in 979, his body was sort of dug up, moved from Wareham to Shaftesbury, where it was officially buried at Shaftesbury Abbey. And Shaftesbury, as a side note, Shaftesbury Abbey, sort of Edward's Edward's grandmother spent her sort of later years at the Abbey, so a bit of a family connection there and all the rest. So yeah, so in 979, he was his body was taken from Wareham to Shaftesbury and reburied at Shaftesbury Abbey. So, and obviously his stepbrother, when he died, his stepbrother Ethelred became king, and he was known as Ethelred the Unready. If I remember rightly, Ethelred was maybe about 10, 11 years old when he kind of officially became king. So yeah, again, even younger than what Edward would have been when he became king. So there's a bit of a, that's kind of why that this particular walk has become known as St Edward's Way, because obviously Edward's body being brought from Wareham to Shaftesbury, and he has become, over time, he has become known as a saint. So obviously St Edward, the martyr. Now it was I'm not sure exactly when it was, I think it might have been about a year or so ago, the Dorset Ramblers officially put together this St Edward's Way, this walk. And it's a walk I've known about for a few months. It's kind of been on my radar. And it was only about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago that I was thinking to myself, I really want to sort of get ahead and then do this walk. And I was thinking to myself, if I want to do it this year, I've got to do it sooner rather than later, because obviously, you know, the days are getting shorter, the nights are drawing in, and you know, if I leave it too long, it's sort of the amount of daylight I have and the weather is going to be against me, and I'm going to have to leave it till next year. You know, so I thought, you know, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to do it sort of September time. And I mean, this coming weekend was roughly in my mind for doing it. I was already sort of half thinking of doing it this weekend, when last Thursday, as pretty much the whole world, well, the vast majority of the world probably know, Queen Elizabeth passed away. And obviously you've got, with Queen Elizabeth, it's the 10 days of mourning, and her body's been on a, what would you call it? Would you call it a, I want to say processional march, but that's not the right word really, is it? It's, her coffin is on a official route, I mean, because she passed away in Balmoral, and her body's been taken to Edinburgh, and it's now sort of been brought down to, and it's in London. Her coffin's on the move. Her coffin's on the move. And obviously the funeral's this coming Monday. And because I was sort of half thinking of doing this pilgrimage walk this coming weekend, the thought struck me, if I actually pin this weekend down as the weekend that I do the pilgrimage walk, a walk commemorating the body of a 10th century king being moved from one place to another, I'll be commemorating that 10th century king's body being moved from one place to another at the same time as a 21st century queen's body is sort of being moved from one place to another. And it just got me thinking, doing it this weekend, this pilgrimage walk, for me personally, I kind of feel as though I'm, not only am I sort of doing it as a way of commemorating a 10th century king, King Edward the Martyr, it's my own personal way of commemorating Queen Elizabeth II, you know, so it's, yeah, it's got, I want to say double-edged sword, but I know that's completely the wrong thing to say. It's got a double meaning to it. Yeah, that's what it's got, a double meaning, you know. So now what I have done is, because as far as I'm aware, there is no official sort of paper map that people can use to sort of follow this pilgrimage walk. I mean, there are maps online that you can sort of download onto your phone as PDFs, and sort of, so you can use you can have the map on your phone, you know, to follow the route. But I mean, me personally, when it comes to doing walks, I'm very old-fashioned, and I don't like following maps on phones. I'd much rather have a paper map in front of me, to sort of, well, not necessarily, not literally right in front of me, but I like to have a paper map so that I can follow when I'm doing a walk. So when I found when I sort of struggled to find like a paper map that specifically of this St Edward's Way, I thought, oh, that's not too good. No, that doesn't make me personally too happy. But what I've done is, I've got some maps. I just bought some maps cheap. It's some of the OS maps. I've gone for got some maps from their Explorer range, because the Explorer range, they're aimed more at sort of the Ramblers and all the rest. So whereas the other maps, the other series that OS do, this don't go into such great detail as Explorer maps do. So that's why I got these ones. I've got 3 of them that cover pretty much the whole route. I've got number 15, so number 117 and 118 from the Explorer range. And like I said, these 3 maps, they cover pretty much the entire range. There's only one very, very, very short section that isn't quite covered as on these maps. There's just, these maps have a little bit of a gap, if you see what I mean. So it's between Shillingstone and Child Oakford. So I mean, that'll probably only really make any sense to those of you that sort of know this area pretty well. And for those of you that know the area very, very well, you'll know that Shillingstone, Child Oakford, it's a very scrappy little bit of a gap, so hardly anything worth worrying about too much. So these maps cover 99.5% of the route, so it's pretty good. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. And I thought I'd just do this, like I said at the start, I thought I'd do this little video just to talk a little bit about the history of who King Edward was and sort of how the walk came about and all the rest. And like I said, I'll be doing recording as I go along. My wife Amy, she's kindly taken me down to Wareham Saturday morning, and it starts, like I said, the walk officially starts at the Priory Church of Our Lady St Mary in Wareham. So she'll be dropping me off there Saturday morning, and now according to their website, they're open on Saturday from during the day, so open up at 9. So my plan is get there about 9, and when it's open I can go in and sort of do a bit of recording inside and that. Then I'll be just doing the walk over the 2 days, because I think it's about 33 miles, so get to Shaftesbury on Sunday. And from what I can tell, Shaftesbury Abbey is officially open still on Sunday. It's closed Monday because of the Queen Elizabeth's funeral. If I can get to Shaftesbury before 4 p.m, I'll be able to go into the Abbey grounds, because Shaftesbury Abbey is open 10 till 4. So, and it's within the Abbey that King Edward's tomb, there's a tomb to King Edward. So if I can get to Shaftesbury before 4 p.m. on Sunday, I'll be able to do a final bit of recording actually within the Abbey, sort of near where sort of King Edward was later rest. But I might be pushing it a bit to get there for 4 p.m. I mean, if I end up getting there after 4 p.m, I'll have to do my final bit of recording sort of outside the Abbey by the Abbey Gate. So I'm going to try and get there for 4 p.m, before 4 p.m, but I ain't going to bust a gut. So, you know, I'll do what I can. So like I said, Saturday morning, start off at the Priory Church of St Mary. Sunday, at some point, I'm going to finish off at Shaftesbury Abbey. And doing a walk, like I said, partly to commemorate the route that the body of King Edward was taken, to commemorate the fact he was moved from Wareham to Shaftesbury, and partly is my own little way of commemorating Queen Elizabeth II. So anyway guys, thank you for watching this little video, and hope you found it enjoyable. And even though it's not an explore as such, and yes, hope you'll enjoy the video I'll be doing on my walk. I said I'll be doing that, uploading that at some point early next week, whenever. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hope you're all keeping well. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. And in the meantime guys, stay safe, take care, God bless.